Hey, my name is Marcin Mikus and welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe for more Photoshop and photography tips, as well for some professional retouching knowledge. Today I'm going to talk about color grading, about color processing. So if you want to know how to process your image in the right way to make them absolutely outstanding, this is tutorial for you, because there is the right and wrong way of doing things. And many people who start with Photoshop, start with post-processing, they experiment with colors a lot, and it leads to very wrong results because colors work in a certain way. There is something like color harmony. So in this tutorial, I want to tell you how in the right way to use the colors in Photoshop to make sure you will have really nice outcomes. And except that, I'm going to show you the settings that give in really impressive outcomes. So this is probably one of the best things you could get here on YouTube. Let's start, and this is the image that I have, and I added these simple color adjustments. And as you can see, there's like very basic things done. We work on the blue color and on the yellow color. And there is the reason behind that, why we work with these two colors to make this image more visible, to make this more contrasty, even though we did not really work on contrasts. So the reason behind that, the colors look the nice way with other colors. So the blue color stays opposite to color orange. That's why it looks nice. The colors that stay opposite to each other look well. The same with red to green. They will both look well if you put them in one image. That's why so many photographers, so many movies is done using complementary color harmony, and we'll try to keep it in mind and process this image. So I'm going to remove my color settings that I did over here, and I'm going to show you how I work with colors on this image from the beginning. So first of all, I want to start with the blue color that it's over here on the background. Beautiful sky. This blue color is already really nicely done. Great photographer. And I'm going to start with selective color. So let's name this blue. And why I'm starting with selective color, this allows me to work not only with color, but this allows me to work also with the luminosity value. And I do want to work with luminosity value because maybe I want to make the sky brighter or darker. So first of all, let's apply some colors. If I want the color to be more cyan, because the orange color look well with cyan, the blue would be better with orange. And I'm going to add some of the yellow color. I'm going to take down some of the magenta, add some cyan. So these simple settings, if you add take down magenta, if you add yellow, obviously the color becomes more pale than blue. And also we have slider like a black. So if you go up with this slider, as you can see, the sky become darker. If you go down, the sky become brighter. So I'm going to add some of the black, and you can see the sky also become much darker in this case. We could obviously create more layers if you want to create a more even darker sky, but this is the basic start for me, and I keep blending mode as a normal. Because if you change blending mode, there will be different outcome. The blending mode normal works with colors and luminosity values. So we work with colors and luminosity, so that's why we have the outcome as it is. The next step is I want to work with the other side where I have this sort of vanilla color wall, and I want to make this more orangey. So in this case, I'm going to actually work with the color balance because I think it will work much better than selective color, and will work a little bit more selectively. So I'm gonna name this wall, maybe wall orange. Okay, and then we need to make the mask on this layer. So thanks to this, we'll have better control, because if you have white layer mask as visible over here, the whole effect is visible. If we turn this into black color, as you can see, the effect disappear. So I want to partially this image have the white mask, partially the dark, so the effect will be applied only to certain areas. So I'm going to select color range, And using sampled color, I'm going to choose the color that exists on the wall. We can choose the plus over here if you want to extend the range. And I think it's okay. So once we have the range, press OK, press Alt or Option, hit on this layer, and let's cover the areas where it's actually the skin, because we planned to work only on the wall. So we cover the skin, we cover all the clothing part over here. Here is the shadow, that will be fine. So just clothing and skin. This is the thing that I'm going to cover. So that would be it. And now let's work with the orange. So how I think this is mainly like highlights and midtones. So what I will try to do, increase reds, increase yellows as well on the midtones, and then try to do similar with highlights where I believe it's even stronger. That would be it. Simple step, as you can see, not really complicated except creating the mask. Next step is the general toning of the image, because we work selectively with the blue, with the orange, we match them together. So now let's do some color toning. So I'm going to create another color balance, and I'm gonna name this toning. This time I don't want to even affect the contrast, so I'm going to switch the blending mode into color. And first I'm going to work with shadows, and here is the orange tail. So what we're going to do, we're going to make colder shadows and warmer highlights, which is the most common harmony used in photography or movies. Of course, there is different variety of use of this, because sometimes you want to apply just the warm color into the body part, sometimes you want to apply this to highlights and the cold colors into the shadow. So it will be always depending on the image, but that gives you really nice idea how to work this way. So for the shadows, I'm applying some blue and some of the cyan. Similar value, maybe even more cyan, that will be really depending to you. I want to make it simple for this tutorial. And then let's go to highlights, because we also affected obviously some of the highlights with the blue color. We don't really want this. Let's add yellow. Let's add red. I believe this way is just on point. We have really warm skin tones at this moment. Maybe a little bit less. I could do it simply, but by lowering the opacity just a little bit, and we can also lower a little bit of the settings for the highlights, and that will be just on point. One thing you could notice right now is we have the black parts of the clothes, and it's not really nice to change the clothes. Many people actually do it. I don't think it looks nice, and if something has the black color, you want to keep it black. That's the rule. Not really a rule, but that's something you're supposed to do. So what I will do now, I'm gonna use color balance again, and I'm gonna name this black. And what I will do, I will choose the color range, and this time I will try to make the mask by choosing the range from the black color. That will be quite alright, I believe so. I think it's nice selection. Okay. We can mask some parts of the wall, as you can see. So I can paint with the black color just a little bit here. It's not wasn't black enough. So this is the wall. So I'm masking this, and the rest is just the black wardrobe. So that was mainly the shadows. So what we can do over here, add a little bit of yellows, a little bit of reds into the shadows, and as you can see, it corrects the fact what we did into the shadow. So it brings back the black color because we applying opposite values that we did before. You can also do something with the midtones over here. For example, I will create new color balance on this one, of course, I switch blending mode to normal to not affect the contrast. Can give another mid-tones this time. So there is indeed a lot of settings, but this way of working gives you really the most outstanding results. So let's put this all to the group. And this is where we started, and this is where we are now. We have nice warm skin tones, warm part of the wall, and in opposition to this, we have really amazing this blue dark background. And this is how you really create, this is how you make sure that your images are outstanding, and what's most important, that's how you make sure that the colors are just right, that the colors work together and are pleasant for the eye, because the eyes perceive colors in a certain way. It can be analogic harmony, which will be pleasant for the eye. It might be complementary, which will make the elements pop out. But if it will be just random colors, the colors that not necessarily match to each other, that might be quite distracting for viewers, quite unpleasant. So you want to draw the attention to the image, and that's how you do it. From the news soon, one announcement is that I'm just about to start preparing the lingerie course, a great source of information on skin retouching and skin toning and working with contrast. That will probably take me a few weeks to complete, but stay here with me and I will announce when the course is finally out. Of course, it will come all together with resources, with great high quality images to practice. So stay in touch with me, follow the channel, and meanwhile I will be doing the Photoshop tutorials, which right now I believe every few days there will be new Photoshop tutorials, so great source of the information to start with Photoshop and of course to start with photography. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I do believe it was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you want to see in the future, because I'm always here happy to help you, and I will see you in the next Photoshop tutorial.